or 5,000 different religious groups.
Oh, different religious groups. So what is religion?
Yeah, but
they claim to be part of this thing called religion.
Well, there are believers, Christian believers, who would say that atheism is a kind of religion. So the definitions range from everything from a belief system to a belief in a higher power to a set of practices. So it's a very, very broad term. You could define religion by the worship practices or the liturgies of people, or you could define it by a belief system.
You would not embrace the idea that you have a religion.
No, absolutely not.
No, he wouldn't.
Because Buddhism is a religion that has no deity. Is that right?
True. Well, it's
Buddhism
true
is
in
a
what you.
philosophy.
Well,
more than a religion.
Well, but that's not entirely true.
I think the term religion is maybe passé. I really like Ninian Smart's idea of worldviews.
Okay.
I think it talks to other concepts and other beliefs rather than a religious denominational belief system that dominated and took hold in the United States when the colonists came here.
Right.
And when other people, you know, we have First Amendment rights, we have Second Amendment rights, we have this and that, but a lot of people couldn't practice and say what they believed because they were persecuted. We see that happening again today.
Well, that's what religious people like to do.
Amelia Durkheim really put it into, I think, terms of religion is created because society needs it.
Well, Voltaire said that, didn't he?
And Durkheim came through with it. And Lao Tzu said, well, the spirit, if in the universe the spirit exists, then we all are spirit, and we have it all.
You know, you also...
So what are you saying?
If there's truth, that everything is true.
No, if there's truth, everything is true?
If there's truth in belief, then everything that you believe probably has some truth
But that makes the validity of the issue whether you believe it or not,
right.
Not whether it in fact is.
Right, there's a huge difference.
There is a big difference, you're right. There is, but this, I'm just saying what Lao Tzu said years and years ago.
Oh, okay, all right.
Well, but you know, it's not just Lao Tzu, you know.
Not Lao Tzu, Lao Tzu.
Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu told whoever it was. But
I
think that this question of a religion is that in which somebody believes is kind of critical, because the important point is the believers who follow it. I mean, a religion can't exist outside. For example, we talk about Greek religion today and studying it. When we talk about ancient Greek religions as though it were a religion, but there is no extant believer in Zeus any longer. I mean, there may be people who picked it up again now, but is there such a thing as a dead religion? And is it still a religion? You know, do you need believers to have a religion?
If it doesn't have a community.
Yeah, there has to be believers.
Yeah.
That's right.
And the experience and the ritual.
Would you make a differentiation between faith and religion?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, you're all talking. Go ahead. What's the difference?
I would say that religion is the rituals that go along with the worship of the deity, whereas just to say that you have the faith, well, that just means you believe he exists, but you don't follow those rituals. So you may not go to all the church services or the rest of the rituals that go with the religion. So I think that the faith just means that you buy the idea that there is a deity, but you don't follow all the commands that go with the religion.
Well, okay, I think that's very helpful. One of the values of organized religion has to do with ethical behavior, because there's a cop on the block. How do you deal with it? How do you create an ethical system if you have no author of an ethical system?
Well, in Wicca, we only have one commandment, which makes it pretty easy.
It's a tough commandment, though.
It is a tough commandment, and there's a lot of pros and cons about it, but it's called the Wiccan Rede, and it says, "And it harm none, do thy will."
Harm none, do your own will. Do
thy will. So
as long as it doesn't harm anybody.
Right.
So I believe that whatever I aspire to, dream of, want to attain or have or manifest or pursue, I have the right to do it, and it's in alignment with my religious beliefs and my faith, as long as I'm not trying to harm you or...
But if you listen...
Wasn't there a theologian who said, love and do as you will?
Yeah, I think that was Vincent de Bleuren. But But the point is that it's basically the same ethical system. Almost every religion has the same ethical system.
Well, she has a religion. You
But
don't have
still,
to.
yeah, but he would say, and a secular humanist would say the same thing. Basically, the golden rule applies.
Yes.
You know, you want to treat others well, and you'll be treated well in return. You don't do things that harm others, and then that leaves you free. But things that harm others are the things that are enumerated in, say, the Ten Commandments.
Right.
You don't kill people, you don't steal from them, you don't take their wives and their livestock.
Except for the ritual rules within the context of the religion, which
That's a separate thing. But the basic core ethical principles are the same from all west to east and north to south in every religion, because those are the rules you need to have a society that works
But
together well.
you do have a different ethical basis in some levels in different cultures, but not.
It also makes a difference too, because I do agree with the secular humanism that you talk about, because for that you do what is right for yourself without any like guilt, or you got to do it or else you're not going to, you know, have a good afterlife or whatever, because that's what a lot of the commandments try to get us to do, to get along with society and stuff, and to let God or divinity have approval of what we're doing. But to just act from an action without the belief attached to it, or what's going to happen to me if I don't do this good deed or do this good deed, it comes from a more purest point. I do agree with that.
Right.
So that you're free of the sort of the onerous part of it and able to function the way it should.
And I actually think that works both ways. I mean, not just doing good, but I think that when you have the belief that there's a deity, and Christianity being the most popular here in the States, that when you do something wrong, it's almost like a shirking of responsibility. You ask Jesus for forgiveness, and you really don't include the person that you've actually wronged. Whereas as a humanist or an atheist, if I did something to you, you're the only one who can forgive me. I can't ask somebody else that I don't believe exists, or an invisible deity, to give me forgiveness without going through you.
Yeah, very nicely. Last word. Nicely said. Thank you. Thank you all. We're out of time again for today's program, and I'd like to thank all our guests for joining us. Visit our new website at wpbt2.org/viewpoint and post your comments on today's program. We'd like to hear your thoughts. Join us next month for another edition of Viewpoint on Sunday, May 30th at noon, and Thursday, June 3rd at 7:30 p.m. right here on WPBT2. I'm Steve Goucher. Thanks for watching.